She's alive! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to John Dudley Speaks. I'm your host, Ben Stiller. R&B singer-songwriter extraordinaire SZA is one of the premier voices in pop culture nowadays, and that's been building up over time, with her top dog origins dating all the way back to the early 2010s, with label mates Kendrick Lamar, Ab Soul, Schoolboy Q, and J-Rock all by her side as she achieved stardom. After featuring on Sylvia Demo and Oxymoron, SZA wrote for the likes of Rihanna and Beyonce, all while tactically recording her very first studio record under RCA, Control, which thrived off the allure of Drew Barrymore, Love Galore, The Weeknd, Broken Clocks, Prom, Pretty Little Birds, Doves in the Wind, you name it. In short, it's a near-perfect record, so it was always going to be hard to top. A long wait commenced as SZA featured on some smash hit pop singles, like All the Stars with Kendrick Lamar and Kiss Me More with Doja Cat, culminating in the end-of-year release of SOS in 2022. And while overlong and disjointed, it's still a hit record with mass appeal, benefiting from the presence of Kill Bill and Good Days, as well as collabs with Travis Scott, Don Toliver, and Phoebe Bridgers that really nail down the pulse of modern viral music. The SOS Deluxe was rumored to be coming right after, and though it's been a couple years, let's face it, Lana is something else entirely. More so a foretelling of where SZA plans to traverse next, and it's a rather stable, intriguing terrain for her to play with. With chief production credits from frequent SZA collaborators, thank God for Cody and Michael Uzawuru, as well as other mainstream heavy hitters like Benny Blanco and even Lil Yachty, Lana benefits from a pretty consistent mix of pop R&B instrumentals. No More Hiding and What Do I Do indulge in a familiar set of neo-soul pop hybrids, with the former featuring a droning, otherworldly synth, while the latter is mainstream top 40 fodder at its finest and best, to be honest. Diamond Boy is a huge musical highlight, with its understated Victoria Monet-inspired musical foundation and soulful guitar passages. But in contrast, BMF and Scorsese Baby Daddy play with new wave and innocuous pop rock. However, it's the mix that flourishes on tracks like these and 30 for 30 with Kendrick Lamar, employing minimalist tendencies which let the sparer elements breathe amid SZA's strong vocals. That being said, the midsection of this record does get a little too loose for my liking, with the atmospheric production lacking a sense of heft that can be found on the unwieldy composition of Kitchen or on the powerfully executed Saturn. So although some sketch-like song structures are scant in the aesthetics that linger, the production suite here, like on SOS, leans on alt pop and R&B like we've come to expect from SZA, but also expands on it through texture like we've also come to expect from SZA. Admittedly, I found the songwriting on SOS to be slightly overwrought and aimless at times, as well as fixated in its anxiety and insecurity, which isn't entirely a bad thing, but it led to a disjointed listening experience. Therefore, by extension, Lana repeats the same beats just to a lesser effect. The relation politics of Diamond Boy and Love Me For Me dive into SZA's own self-perception and, to an extent, devotion, both from her end and her partners. But at the core of her writing here, like on Scorsese Baby Daddy, there's a yearning and longing for something more, which is often offset by justifiable anger amid pressure. It's understandable why SZA feels this way, given everyone's commentary on her celebrity and her previous songwriting on SOS. So while I do have issues with the repetition of this kind of thematic material here, I applaud that she can subvert the usual structure of these types of songs by staying emboldened and mining true depth out of these situations, which in turn is what makes SZA so relatable in the first place. One thing that we can always count on when SZA turns in a project is that she'll give her all on the mic, and Lana builds upon her immense talent in an unexpected, understated way. Her interplay with Kendrick Lamar on 30 for 30 is fantastic, their natural chemistry proving to be so slippery and smooth, especially when sandwiched between the softness of Diamond Boy and the pop sensibilities of What Do I Do. And there's a weirdness that you can attribute to Scorsese Baby Daddy and BMF specifically, especially with the Girl from Ipanema interpolation and the pop rock delivery. It's totally awesome and averse to the tropes of modern mainstream pop, so I think she really makes it work. Kitchen also exudes strength and variability and versatility, which helps to reinforce the more traditional R&B strides like on Saturn and No More Hiding. So even if there's mild patches where repetition dulls the overall product, you can always expect that SZA will come through with a big effort to entertain and connect. At 15 songs and 46 minutes, this deluxe version is far shorter than the original SOS, and sometimes it's a benefit, but at others it's a detriment to the project. Firstly, the opening leg of this record is excellent, where SZA just opens up with hit after hit, which tantalize as much as they innately bind us to her worldview and perspective. And the latter portion of the record ends off strongly, saving some of her best compositions yet for climactic moments like Saturn. However, the midsection often feels like padding to lend this project more significance than it needs, especially with it being billed as a deluxe deluxe release. So I feel like the record gets caught between a rock and a hard place because it's too long and too short to justify its existence. And I think if you shave a couple tracks off the runtime, it finds the right pacing and suspense to hold the same weight as its parent record. Lana is an intriguing collection of tracks from SZA that admirably tells similar tales akin to Control and SOS, but its low-key instrumentation, powerful vocal performances, and aesthetically pleasing makeup truly show why SZA is still such a huge force to be reckoned with in the modern alt-pop space. But hey, this is my perspective. If you're a SZA fan, buckle up for some more new music soon, I guess. And if you're in the mood for an eclectic alt-R&B testimony on love and reflection from one of pop's biggest voices, you gotta check this one out. Alright, that's all I got. Bye!